Officials have said the indicative date for the arrival of coronavirus vaccines from the Covax facility is Saturday, or it could be Monday next week. Covax is an initiative led by the World Health Organization, which seeks to provide over 150 participating countries fair access to coronavirus vaccines. We now go above and beyond the headlines with the WHO's representative to the Philippines, Dr. Rabindra Abeyasinghe. He joins us live via Zoom. Good evening, Doctor. Thank you for taking our call.
Good evening, Mai. Good to be back on CNN.
All right, Doctor, is there a date already for the arrival of the vaccines?
The issue is that the allocations have been earmarked for the Philippines, and we are expecting a rollout of 117,000 vaccines to be sent in the first consignment. But for that consignment to be shipped, there are still some documentary requirements that the Philippine government needs to accomplish. We have been working very closely with the government to ensure that those requirements are fulfilled. And I had a meeting late this afternoon, and I was made to understand that the requirements are almost complete, and that the Secretary of Health, Dr. Francisco Duque, has advised the officials to send all the documents within the day today to the Covax facility. So once the Covax facility receives those documents and make sure that they are in order, it will only then open the doors to ensure an itinerary for the shipment, a schedule for the shipment. All of this quantity will be shipped in one batch, and so it then depends on, since the documents are received and cleared, how soon the shipments will arrive. But that could be as early as next week.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Doctor, if there is no specific date yet, is there any cause of delay?
There's no cause of delay. It's that there were requirements that needed to be fulfilled, and we must acknowledge that the Philippine government has been responding very proactively and very fast. And so they've now, to my understanding, completed those requirements and will be sending the documents later today to the Covax facility. Mm-hmm. So there has been no delay. No sooner that these requirements are fulfilled, we believe that the Covax can schedule a delivery date.
Yes,
go ahead. We know that.
All right, Doctor, the Philippines has requested for an additional 900,000 more doses of Pfizer vaccines through the Covax facility, and Carlito Galvez said they will send a request letter before February 14. Has the WHO received this letter already?
This request has not yet been received by me. It may be still in the process. I am aware of this impending request. Information has been shared with me by the National Task Force Chair. But before that consignment of 900,000 doses, there is also a scheduled 5.5 million doses of AstraZeneca, yes, which we hope will arrive in the Philippines before the end of the month or early March. And this quantity could increase as up to probably 9.2 million doses. But all of it will come in two batches of shipment. So the first shipment will probably be about 5.5 million doses. We cannot give exact numbers because, as you may be aware, vaccine manufacturers are faced with challenges because the yields in vaccine production have not been as high as expected. And so there's delays in actual ability for producers to meet their commitments to countries.
Mm-hmm. Doctor, what are the chances that this request for an additional 900,000 doses will be approved, or are there any demands for this to be approved?
We believe that the request will be considered favorably. It, of course, is premature now to comment on that. We have to wait for the request to be received and processed. The COVAX has a process of allocation, and we believe that that will receive favorable consideration.
All right, Doctor, I want to talk about the other demands from the other manufacturers like AstraZeneca or Pfizer. Will the Covax facility require an indemnification fund similar to that of AstraZeneca or Pfizer?
It's not the Covax that requires an indemnification fund. It's the manufacturers that require indemnification agreement for their own safety. And this is a commitment that all governments have agreed to, who have signed to participate in Covax, and also all governments that have done direct procurement deals with the manufacturers. This is recognizing that all of these vaccines are still not cleared for market authorization and sale. These are emergency use listed vaccines. And so there are certain precautions that the manufacturers are taking.
Yeah, that's very clear, Doctor. Thank you for clarifying that. Now, are there any other updates on the Covax initiative? Because we are expecting, the Philippines is expected to receive 5.6 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccines in the first quarter of this year.
That's correct, Mai. That's what I meant with the AstraZeneca vaccine coming from the Covax. That's the expected quantity that we can hope to achieve within the first quarter of this year.
Yes. Now, I'd want to talk about the UK and the other variants of the COVID-19 virus. How responsive are the vaccines to these variants?
Yesterday, WHO came out with a very clear statement. We are still reviewing these reports that have come from South Africa, which have actually prompted the decision of the South African government to stop the use of AstraZeneca. But it appears that the analysis requires a little more deeper analysis and interpretation. WHO still remains confident that the AstraZeneca vaccine will be effective against the current variants that are circulating. So our position is that we continue to advocate for the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine.
All right, very briefly, Doctor, I want to ask you, what is the status of the emergency use listing approval for AstraZeneca and for the other manufacturers as well?
So the only vaccine that has received full emergency use listing from WHO at this point of time is the Pfizer-BioNTech. The other ones under consideration, which we expect to receive the EUL soon, will be the Moderna and the AstraZeneca vaccines. Until these have received the emergency use listing, of course, the Covax will not ship these vaccines to countries. We are optimistic that this will happen soon because our understanding from headquarters is that this process is very advanced and they will give a ruling very soon.
Yes, thank you for that update. Dr. Rabindra Abeyasinghe, thank you for joining us tonight.